Hi everyone. Thank you for your time for joining the webinar. I hope all of you are staying safe. Introducing myself, I am Nishant Agarwal, Director of Product Management at Unboxed, leading the site search, browse, and personalization products. I also lead various machine learning initiatives at Unboxed. Unboxed builds powerful AI-driven site search for e-commerce companies across the globe, and we power approximately 1,200 e-commerce sites. And we power e-commerce sites across verticals like fashion, furniture, electronics, grocery, hardware, B2B, and mass merchants as well. Today, in this webinar, I'll cover how AI can help in shortening the path to purchase. Sometimes it will mean better UI experiences for the shoppers, and at other times it will mean delivering highly relevant search results to the shoppers. Let's cover both of them in some detail today. I'll cover different techniques that, if leveraged properly, can lead to a potential uplift of 20 to 50% in conversion. I will also be leaving 10 minutes towards the end of the presentation for any questions that you may have. Let's get started. So let's start by looking at what a typical shopping journey looks like for a shopper in an e-commerce store. These are the top 2-3 possibilities. Path A is where the shopper starts searching for the exact product. These are the shoppers with high intent who know what to buy. Path B is the path where he or she starts browsing various categories on the website. This is basically the window shopping version of the online world. Here the shopper is undecided on what to buy and browsing the store to see if something piques his or her interest. In this path, the idea is to convert the shopper from a low intent buyer to a high intent buyer. Or the best case scenario, path C, where the shopper is already on his way to make a purchase. And she's already added to cart and a product suggestion pops up. These are viewed also viewed, bought also bought recommendations, basically trying to cross-sell complementary products on the path to purchase, in turn adding to the average order value. So while most of the shopper journeys have a similar path to traverse, but surprisingly, not all shopping experiences are the same. I'll let you inside the world where e-commerce stores face challenges in implementing different experiences for these paths and what causes these stories to differ. So what goes wrong? This is where the e-commerce stores get it wrong. Poor relevancy. 3 seconds is all you get to grab the attention. Second, very important use case is lack of personalization experience. 80% of shoppers are more likely to buy from an e-commerce store that is personalizing the shopping journey. It is critical to capture the preferences of the shoppers. And lastly, very important, omni-channel experience. 30% higher lifetime value if you are offering the same experience across the channels. Now the question is, what can be done to fix these challenges? Well, there are a lot of things. To start with, we can help find the relevant product for the shoppers. We can suggest the products that are trending, popular. We can bury the out of stock or out of fashion products. We can have trending searches, popular products, latest products coming up. Basically, these are better inventory control and management and showing products to the shoppers that are more likely to sell. On top of this, we can offer more relevant and personalized recommendations, something that suits to my taste or shopper's taste. And of course, we can run many more merchandising campaigns for specific use cases like holiday, Christmas, Valentine's Day, etc. But what we need to really do is create a journey that is curated as per the shopper's needs. But how do we do this? That's why I'm here today to walk you through fine nuances that can help you improve your on-site search and shopping experience and eventually boost your conversions. So the goal now is slightly more defined. We need to create an AI powered intelligent product discovery backbone for your e-commerce that not only will understand your shopper's needs, as in basically identify intent from a shopper's query, but it also has the ability to self-optimize depending upon various shopping journeys, different paths, interests, and profiles of the shopper. On this screen, I have the intent scale or the intent spectrum of a shopper. I was using the keywords high intent and low intent. I'll just double click on that. High intent is for search queries, basically, which are more qualified search queries, as in, and these have higher correlation with search queries that are longer. Uh, and these search queries get lesser hits. So these are your torso and long tail queries. And basically long tail is, if you look at a normal curve, uh, the right side of the curve where the number of hits are lower, this is these queries are falling in that bracket. And I'll give you an example to simplify this. A long tail query would be red polka dot dress for Valentine's Day. Now to solve for this query, and this is a very specific exact query, we need very different methods from solving the queries which are head queries in nature, which have lower intent. I mean, head queries are very simple queries like shirts, dresses. They don't have a lot of data within the query, and basically shopper generally starts their shopping journey with head queries to understand if the website provides enough products or if there are relevant products on the website. So product discovery basically spreads across the intent spectrum of a shopper. And one fundamental layer of intelligence that is built is to differentiate between high intent shoppers from low intent shoppers, and also to convert low intent shoppers to high intent shoppers. So like we covered, right? So let me cover a few examples now to make this more easier to understand. I am going to one of our customers' websites, HSN, Home Shopping Network, and let me show you how AI is basically shortening the path to purchase. So a day ago, actually, I remember seeing a commercial for a dark chocolate on TV, which looked very interesting, but I can't recall the exact name, though I know it had some reference to the word choco. So let me go ahead and type CHOC. Oh, there is that product that I was interested in, Choco Nuvo, basically Choco Nuvo, dark chocolate. And the second term is Choco Nuvo also is there. And one thing that you'll notice here is that uh, while there are other products that match my typed word, the system recognized and listed Choco Nuvo dark chocolate as the first product. And that is happening because the listing auto adapted based on the influx of popular queries around that product. So without having to manually pin or boost or basically merchandise a product, uh, AI engine was able to show relevant results automatically. I mean, and basically using such simple, and these are not very complex, rather simple popularity models and other AI-based, very different auto-suggest ranking models like trending results, location-based results, we have been able to drive 30 to 50% higher conversions. Let me actually cover another example. And this is again with one of our live customers, Blick Arts. They're a very large art supply company based out of Chicago. Uh, so let me show you, and they have a very beautiful auto suggest. Let me search for something, let's say craft. Okay. So you'll see here, the auto suggest looks very rich in nature. There are categories and brands, there are popular products, there are related searches coming up, and there are a lot more related products other than popular products also that may match the intent of the shopper. One thing that you'll notice here is that some suggestions are not actually matching the keyword craft. For example, blick that you can see here, or blick construction paper. This is basically getting powered by our closest neighbors algorithm, which is doing an auto grouping of similar products based on learnings of the past buying patterns and category associations. So the idea is basically we've built here a self-learning engine that evolves every day with more query data. And you can also see that one good UI experience that I can show you is that if I hover on crafts, or if I hover on paper crafts, if I hover on crafts, that related products actually change uh, for every hover on the query that I'm doing. Crafty dab will yield different results, blick will yield different results. And basically internally, it's the same search query getting fired for this, but a shopper sees a much better, richer experience. And without even going to a single search page, they have already seen, let's say, in excess of 40, 50 products. So, I mean, just based on these two examples, I want to capture here that how AI is able to smartly help me find the products by layering context and user behavior data, and with very little effort from my side. Let's now, move on to seeing how my experience can be taken a level up once I uh, try to make certain searches. So let's say one of the search that I want to make is for the search term sweater. I come on Children's Place. Children's Place is a large fashion retailer based out of New Jersey, and I search for keyword sweater. And there are 101 items that are in the result set. A lot of sweaters. I see boys sweaters, girls cardigans, etc. In different colors. And I also see a lot of facets that I can use to uh, narrow the product set from. So there is color facet, there are different colors, sizes, price, fit, gender, girl and boy. But I would rather expect these facets to optimize. So let's say I've already searched for that. I search for girl pink sweater. I optimize, I fine tune the search query. And what I see in the result set is now only 11 items are remaining. And what the engine has done is it has optimized the facets automatically. So the gender facet is out because of the girl keyword in the search query. And the color facet is also out because of the pink keyword in the search query. Also, the algorithm has been able to understand and match pink with other similar colors like winterberry, light red, etc. So synonyms also play a major role here, specifically for colors, more used items where different products get picked up from the result set. So this was a high intent use case where I tried refining my search query from a head to a long tail query. I'll show you, we can switch gears and I can show you example of how an AI engine can optimize the low intent use case as well, where the shopper is just window shopping, exploring different pages. So in the window shopping example, uh, and this is again, I'm on Children's Place and I'm on the girls jeans category page. Uh, what AI engine here does is it optimizes the experience of pages via one-to-one personalization and targeted segmentation. For first-time shoppers or repeat shoppers with low intent, the system optimizes the taxonomy automatically and product results also on the category pages. For example, on girls jeans page, taxonomy can re-rank the category nodes based on which category is more popular and trending. Now, personalization of products happens based on multiple user affinities. Most important being price affinity, category and brands affinity, and size affinity. These could be simpler models as well based on user journeys, as well that sometimes leverage collaborative filtering and suggest personalized recommendations based on what other similar users viewed or purchased. Diving one level deeper into low intent, because low intent is much more prevalent on mobile as compared to desktop. And with the increasing adoption of mobile optimization becomes a key. So let me illustrate the mobile example with a live example. So I have optimized the screen for iPhone X, and I'm on the site by the name of Star Quick. They're a large grocery player in India. So if I just hover on the search box and if I just click here, the experience immediately changes. And what I see here are my recent searches and the trending searches. So recent searches and trending searches become very useful, and these are simple and great ways to help a shopper in their path to purchase. Trending searches are generally based on location and past few hours of data, not months of data. So this helps in optimizing of trends, something, let's say if a certain campaign is running on biscuits or cheese, etc. And recent searches are something that I started a search and probably I didn't complete my purchase on that specific uh, session. So for example, let's say if I start searching as well, let's say I search for fruit juice and I end up typing in full, what you do see, one very important, interesting thing is guided category suggestions. So I see fruit juice in juice and concentrates in Real, which is a brand, and specific search queries like mixed fruit juice and some popular products that match very well with the incoming search query. Okay. So, so basically what I captured so far is the how the system is optimizing the high intent and low intent use case. And I showed you a few examples, how the category recommendations are coming on Autosuggest. Uh, one actually key thing that I didn't cover there is how add to cart right in Autosuggest adds a lot of value for the shoppers. And this is generally good for your low ticket purchase items. This also sits well for B2B purchases where I know the product that I want to buy really well. And I needn't actually go to add to cart or the product details page, and I can make the decision right there in the Autosuggest window. And one more trick here is to actually highlight what the user is searching for. For example, in this case, butter, where butter gets highlighted in all the search queries. And this gives a very clear indication to the user that the suggestions that are coming up are actually matching with what he or she is searching for. So autosuggest is one critical piece of the puzzle that can have multiple pieces to it. Like we cover trending, location-based, personalized suggestions, recent searches, uh, guided suggestions, popular products, related products, etc. Uh, in terms of improving the relevance of the search, there is of course the core intent identification that has to be very good. So for example, this specific example where I've searched for boys' school uniforms, system should be able to understand that these are school uniforms that are being searched for and the gender is boys. The next very important thing is facets. Facets are basically generally on the left side of the e-commerce site that you see. Let me pick a good example. So I'll again go to HSN, I'll search for, let's say, black shoes and see the results here. So basically you'll see different kinds of facets here. Facets are on the left side of the of the page where the first facet is the multi-level facet where I can further drill down on within fashion, within home, etc. Brand is the multi-select facet where I can select one or more values from here. Price is another facet which is based on numeric values getting finally being shown as ranges based on what users generally purchase from. uh, Color is a facet, but there are more specific facets also for this search query. For example, shoe style. And I searched for black shoes and the system was automatically able to show shoe style as a facet and shoe size as a facet where I can directly shortlist based on this. This helps shoppers in not really putting, not having filters that I want to shortlist on generally adds to an unhappy feeling or a annoying feeling to the shoppers. So having facets automatically popping up for the search queries, for different search queries, is a critically important thing for the users. And one key thing that we've noticed on facets, actually why facets become so important, one fact that I want to state here is based on our experience of working with e-commerce partners across the world, is that users, shoppers who interact with facets convert 4x higher than shoppers who don't interact with facets. I mean, basically interaction with facets is a good sign of intent changing from low to high. Uh, shoppers get more interested via the facets route. Uh, so yes, so facets are very important, and there are different ways of how you can optimize how facets rank. Basically, within a facet values can again further rank based on which gets higher weightage, or which facet value is more preferred by the user. One example also that I would want to cover here is of product variants. So I covered facets, and yes. So let's look on. Let's spend a brief minute about why product variants are so important to Power. Basically, you cannot show the same product many times. So for example, and this use case is more valid possibly for the fashion, furniture, and electronics use case, where a product will end up having multiple variants, either based on color or size or pattern, or different ranges that a same product may be offered within. What becomes important is that the same product with different variants is not shown as different products across the site. Otherwise, one key popular product with different variants will end up eating the entire real estate of the page. So the idea is you showcase the most relevant variant from that product for a given search query. So I'll showcase the same example actually in live when I search for black Diba boots. What you'll notice here is that while these shoes have different color variants as well, like whiskey and other color variants, the black color variant has become the default image of these variants. So the relevant variant has automatically become the default image. What this helps the shoppers is if a shopper has actually taken the pain to enter the color here, they want to see the relevant results. They don't want to see many shoes coming up with different colors. I'll just change the keyword black to red just to show you that not only in Autosuggest, red variants start coming up as a default variant, but in the result set also, you'll see when there are different variants, different color variants available, the red variants become the default or the priority variant for that result. Yeah. So now that we've covered different use cases on high intent and low intent, and how can we potentially deploy different approaches to solve for them, and how we can put some intelligence on facets, some intelligence on autosuggest, and on search results, the core idea is to make your search more relevant. And to put a certain framework around it, basically there are 12 query types. And the idea is that a search engine should power search across all different query types. Query spectrum, the first part here, you'll see this basically indicates a range of what could be searched. Either shopper is looking for something very specific, or at other times a shopper wants to see a broad collection of products. These two are exact and product type search queries. Product type is something where shopper may search for laptop or headphones. Symptom searches are the third type, where user may not know the product or product type, but a problem to which she is trying to find a solution for, and hopes that the system understands it. So let me go into symptom search in some more detail. And I'll actually cover why symptom search is important. It is important because it will often be user's last recourse. It's just that users don't know how to say that product out clearly, and they are expecting the system to map the system that they are entering into the search box to different products that can cater to the symptoms need. And basically it also maps back to what shoppers have really gotten used to. And what they've gotten used to is that you must be able to search for anything. And they've picked it up from Google, they've picked it up from Bing, they can search for anything, right? And this is especially true for categories. I mean, if categories on a certain site aren't problem or symptom based, and which is at a lot of times, right? Here I've searched for cough on Lucky Vitamin. They are supplements and medicines seller based out of Pennsylvania. Here I've searched for cough, and you'll see while there are results, there are categories, and categories are calling out cough suppressants. So all different cough categories are coming up. Also, different related searches are coming up, which can immediately help the user to shortlist or search for something that they may have wanted to search. So symptom searches is a good indicator of how strong the underlying search system is. The next the type of search in query spectrum is non-product searches. Uh, Basically, on mobile, finding non-product content via on-page links or navigation can be even more challenging, as these options are harder to find compared to desktop sites, where it generally may reside in the footer or on the header. So, I mean, here I've shown an example where shipping fee and the system is automatically able to redirect based on shipping and handling, and they get here without having to find that specific navigation link. There are other search query types also, like feature searches, which are queries like fabric sofas or size 8 sneakers. Uh, Dimension searches or feature searches. Let me show you actually dimension searches. Yeah, so dimension searches, for example, 247620 bookcase on global industrial, where the system identifies 247620 as the measurement attribute for the bookcase and shows relevant products. And actually the challenging bit here is that this is a million plus catalog, global industrial, uh, in the B2B domain. And AI system is automatically able to identify that, hey, this is the measurement attribute. I need to match it to see which bookcases, bookshelves match this specific requirement. Similar other query types are thematic, etc., that should be attempted to be solved. Other similar searches are searches with currencies and percent off. For example, dresses under $500 or products 50% off, etc., that follow a similar line of thought from an algorithm's perspective. Although there can be potentially different approaches to solve for them. One very important use case that we briefly spoke earlier from an Autosuggest perspective is search also capturing the location-based intelligence. The example that is on the screen is again for Sharkweg, basically where I've searched for butter from 2 different locations and there are different results coming back. But idea is users based in different locations have different preferences. So the search results automatically adjust based on them. And one use case that we've also seen one peculiar use case for omnichannel is there are offline stores, let's say, selling different catalog items in Texas compared to California. So there's definitely times where different brands don't necessarily sell in all the states or all countries. So having specific brand popularity by the location helps in delivering more relevant experiences to the end shopper. And the last leg of the problem is the PDPs, the product detailed pages, where let's say as a shopper, I found few products interesting and I actually want to read more about the product, and so as to confirm if this is a good product that I would be interested in purchasing. So PDPs are also very important and play a critical role in the path to purchase. The idea is to build a PDP that can give as much information to the user on the same page, so that user needs to do as less back and forth as possible. So here you'll see different variants for color, different fits available for the shirt, different sizes available, quantity, add to bag, product details, etc. So everything is here on the same page, which reduces the number of steps needed. One key intelligent thing that we see a few customers deploying, and where we have helped a few customers, is basically having bundled products, bundled suggestions on PDPs. And a lot of times on mobile PDPs and a lot of times on desktop also, where complete the look or style it with suggestions really help in improving the average order value, improving the cart value of the purchase, and not necessarily having to look for other products that will complement this style by going back and making another search query, but rather just picking other products from the style it with result set. So we saw a few examples uh, with AI models, self-optimizing methods for all channels alike. Basically, we ensure that shoppers are able to find what they're looking for faster. We tried and actually we try to understand the shopper's intent, and specifically for longer queries where there are more keywords in the search queries. We brought them closer to what they actually came looking for, and thereby shortening the path to purchase. Because if we'll understand what the users are looking for, only then we'll be able to showcase better, more relevant products in initial search queries rather than having to define and make it more nuanced search queries. And then we also lured them to come back again for purchase, hence increasing the customer lifetime value. So Unboxed can come across all the three different paths: path A, path B, path C, the high intent, low intent, and the recommendations. Uh, Now that I've walked you through many use cases, various AI-powered models to address the use cases, you have a fair understanding about how AI can actually shorten the path to purchase and boost conversions for your e-commerce store. And in order to stay competitive, maybe one second. You can choose to deploy some or more of these solutions, and uh, those should help you in your path to improving the product discovery journey for your shoppers. But before I wrap up, I would like to tell you very briefly about what we do here at Unboxed, and over years of experience are catering to these unique business cases via a product discovery suite: search, browse, recommendations, and PIM. And each of these products is suited to a specific path of the journey, and PIM comes in the overall catalog improvement part of the process, because eventually search, browse, and recommendations are only as good as the data that is being fed. This is a snapshot of our customers across the globe and the verticals who have used our service to uplift their conversions and enhance the on-site shopping experience. As mentioned earlier, we are spread across verticals across the globe. We also have a multi-language offering where we power more than 15 languages natively without any need to translate. Mm, So what's next? What's next is you can get a site audit done for your e-commerce store. We can help you identify the gaps, what your search can do and what it can't. We can help you evaluate the search options, which can help you shorten the path to purchase. You can understand the timelines, business impact, uh, and you can also get on a POC and see the results for yourself. Uh, and hope you are all set and you see better conversions from what you are seeing right now. I thank you for your time, and it was a pleasure presenting the webinar. I'm open for questions now. Thank you.